Hello, my name is J.W. Riggs, and I'm here with Eric Lee Beddingfield. How are you doing today,
Hey
Eric?
JW, good man. Thanks for coming to
Good.
the show.
Thank you, man. So we are here at America 250 on the base of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. What does this show mean to you?
Oh man, I tell you, anytime you get to play a show like this, and then and on I shouldn't say like this because for me it's never been anything like it. It's July 4th, it's 250-year celebration, and then on Fort Campbell. Just getting to me that's what it's all about. Everything we get to celebrate our freedoms for this base and the people who are here on a daily basis, that's what gives us those freedoms. So to be able to come here and entertain them, it's really special. It's a real feather in the cap that I'll never forget.
Absolutely. What does it mean also to be honoring the legend of Charlie Daniels?
Well, for me, man, there's some real personal ties. Charlie was one of the first guys early on in my career that took me under his wing when I was still playing college bars and stuff down in Georgia before I even moved to Nashville. He was one of the guys who really gave me the encouragement to, because it's a guy like Charlie Daniels saying, "Hey, I think you have something. I think you can do this." He was one of the real first artists that I admired and looked up to that made me feel like I had a chance to move to Nashville and be a singer songwriter. So to be here on this day, and then what a patriot he was. It's kind of it's a full circle moment, and I when I think of Charlie, I think of not just the incredible musician he was, but just a great man. He was a man of God, family man, great businessman, and a great mentor. He would really make you feel uh, like he would he was there listening. Wasn't just going through the motions.
That's great. Now, that also leads me on to my next question, which you kind of answered already. Who's your biggest inspiration in music? I know you probably have a few. You could go into that a little bit if you would like.
And I have some great ones, but you know what? When I get really right down at the heart of it, it's my dad. It was my dad, and the music he listened to inspired me. He loved old school country. He loved George Jones and Merle Haggard and Johnny Cash, and he also loved classic and southern rock like Bob Seger and Leonard Skinner, Marshall Tucker. So I was blessed to have some really cool music playing the soundtrack to my childhood, and that influenced me. Never in a million years did I think I would go on and get a chance to meet and work with, and even become friends with some of those same people that I heard on the speakers as a kid. I got a chance to, like I say, work with Charlie Daniels. I got a chance to have a great relationship with George Jones. Got to write and record the very last song he ever did called "Gospel According to Jones," and we made a video for it. My first video that was like on CMT and
That's really
GAC was
cool.
with George Jones, and got to play that song. My Grand Ole Opry debut was at George Jones' 80th birthday on his request, coming and playing that song. So just things that as a child I'd never believed that I got to see come true.
That's really fantastic. I mean, that's one thing I love about music, but you and I were already talking about country music and how special it is, and that it just feels like a family already when you're just listening to it. And then when I get to meet people like you and I get to meet people at A Track Entertainment, and you really realize country music really just is a family.
It really is. It's a small world. I used to say all the time when I first moved to Nashville, coming from down in Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
it was like going to a big city.
Yeah.
I graduated from Statesboro, Georgia Southern University, where I went to school down there, played football, went on a football scholarship, had a neck injury, and that's kind of what catapulted me into music. So coming from a little small town, Statesboro, Georgia, into Nashville, it seemed like really overwhelming, this big city. But then at the heart of it, in the country music community, it was like a little small town. Everybody knew each other, and it truly is a family business. And in country music, we talked about it a little earlier, the things it stands for, what it means to to the listeners, to
Yeah.
so many common ties that people can relate to no matter where they come from.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people make the joke about all country songs being about trucks and mamas, but if that's what it means to you, I
Hey,
mean,
some towns,
that's
man, that's
special.
that's the most important
Yeah,
things: your trucks, your mamas, your dog.
exactly. So it's like if that stuff's special to you, you're gonna want to hear it, and that's what country music's all about, in my
That's it,
opinion.
man. I just it. I think as a songwriter, the stories, the storytelling. You can take a little 3 minute song and it's like a little mini movie, and it can take you on a little journey real fast. That's what drew me to it.
Absolutely. And that's what I love about your music and a lot of the artists that have been inspired by people like George Jones and a lot of the Outlaws, is that was all storytelling music. Storytelling country kind of disappeared for a little bit and it's coming back.
is coming back, man, and it warms my heart to see the younger generation. Your generation, man. You got a college radio station. It's you guys that'll bring this stuff back. And there's a handful of years ago, I thought, man, this ship may have sailed, but to be a diehard country fan and someone who's made a living at it, to see this young generation gravitate to it and love that storytelling, get back to the roots of it, it makes me feel really good.
I think it's great. Country tells a story in so many different ways. You could be listening to a song like Teddy Bear, and that literally tells a story. Or you could just be listening to a song that reminds you of a moment in your life, and that tells a story to you as well.
It does, man. In country music, anytime I hear something, it'll take me to a place and time. I'll hear a song come on, and I know right where I was riding down the road with my dad and hearing that song come on the radio. And country music seems to do that for me the most.
That's great. Is there anything that you would say to up and coming artists or people that are really just trying to make it within the industry?
Man, it's what I'd say to anybody, man. Like I was just telling you, be true to yourself, know who you are, and never apologize for that. Stand for something and stick to your morals and your beliefs. And God has a plan for everyone. It'll come about.
Absolutely. Just one more question here, and then I'll see if you have any questions for me. Of course, you already mentioned George Jones a little bit. What was it like writing that last song with him? Do you have any stories about him that you would be able to share?
So many. Some I probably can't share, but so some of the stories I would hear him tell.
Right.
George had a pretty wild life back in the day, and I kind of got the fortune of having a front row seat to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. And he had an incredible book. In fact, if any of your listeners, he had a book called "I Live to Tell It All," and everyone should read that. If you're a country music fan, George Jones' "I Live to Tell It All" is probably the best autobiography book I've ever read. And you can hear some of those stories firsthand too. But he was just a great guy. What was cool about him was he was so unassuming too. When I was there, I would be at his house, my family would be over there, we'd have a dinner, and you almost forget that you're hanging out with a legend. He just seems like your uncle or something from and then it would always hit you as you're leaving on the gate, like, holy moly, I just had dinner with George Jones, or I'm going to play a show with George Jones. And it's something that's very special. He was really, really good to me, and I'll always cherish those moments.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for doing this. Do you have any questions for me?
Man, I tell you, I think it's really interesting you having the college radio going on. I guess my question for you would be, once you're out of school, what's the next step? What is it your goal to continue this journey in radio, or what would you like to do?
So I'm a double major in both Bible and communication, and I'm planning on going full-time in radio, but also doing communication ministry, which is a type of outreach, just helping smaller congregations grow throughout media and stuff like that. But my heart's in ministry, my heart's also in radio, and I want to be able to do both. So
follow your heart.
Yes, sir.
You'll always succeed, man. Thanks, JW.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you so much. This is Eric Lee Beddingfield, and I'm JW Riggs. I don't know why I forgot my name.
I'm Eric Lee Beddingfield.